So, did I read the title correctly? That joint says holding JustPearlyThings accountable? Cause the thing is, I ain't never heard anyone say anything to her about anything. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'm reading this title correctly. I don't know what the context is. You feel me? I'm gonna get probably caught up when I see this video. The video is by MTR. Shout out your boy. Yo, let's see.
And I don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes you are. Yes you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy.
I'm not going to beat around the bush for this conversation, and I'm going to get straight to the point.
Please.
Pearl, you f***ed up. You knowingly invited a white supremacist and a self-proclaimed racist onto a platform which is primarily supported by, at least initially, and produced by black people. This comes across as insensitive to downright nasty. And I want to be clear, it's not just inviting said person to the conversation that's upsetting, because conversations with people who don't agree with each other or don't agree with a particular position, if done in a healthy way, can promote civil discourse. But your up was to not only not defend the people who help create the content on your platform, but to also push a narrative that is insensitive and damaging to those very same people. Pearl, you know that your staff is mostly black people, and I'm talking about from a production perspective as well as a talent perspective. You also know that the majority of your content utilizes black people talking about black relationship issues. You could have had black people sitting in the same room with this person in order to combat some of the hellacious things that was coming out of his mouth, or to have a different perspective that would have lent itself well to demonstrate the respect for the people that watch your content and that you employ. I don't think that your platform would be as big as what it is today if it wasn't for the essential utilization of black people, black relationship topics, and black talent. And the talent came from all over. When you include the likes of an Andrew Tate, all the way down to a Brittany Renner. And even from a content creator perspective, from me to a Melanie King, to a Sarah Garvey, to a King Riches, to an Auntie Jenny.
That's crazy.
So for those just unaware of what's been going on, Pearl has recently come under fire for these particular comments.
I'm trying to get my Africans in America. My Africans. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're gonna be in trouble. This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Now what's crazy is that I came across these comments while I was live streaming a couple of days ago. And what started out as a laughy, jokey live stream where I wanted to talk about my time up in London quickly diverted to one of the worst live streams that I've ever had in my life. And honestly, it was a trip to hell as I discovered the magnitude of the conversation that she had with this figure by the name of Nick Fuentes. Specific to the comments regarding slavery being embellished, I said this on the stream and I maintain it today, that Pearl needs to be held responsible for this comment. Likening a quote from the writer of Roots explaining a myth for his people to hold on to does not negate the documented history of the atrocities that happened to black people. And I'd argue...
Yeah, Shorty, you're gonna lose your viewers, bro. Like, that's pretty wild. Like, you actually had a lot of viewers coming to your page, bro. Like, that's wild. That's extremely wild. I don't know what you got to say past this, and look, I'm not the type of person to wish, like, you know, anything bad on you, but that is crazy. You're about to lose a lot of viewers, man.
Argue that Roots was a light depiction of the savagery that my forefathers had to go through to ensure that I would be here today. But let me explain a little bit further how thoroughly that this actually is, because for me it comes down to a question of ethics. You're interviewing a known Nazi sympathizer and an anti-black creator and not offering any pushbacks whatsoever. And in fact, you're adding in your own fake news regarding the embellishment or the exaggeration of slavery. Additionally, there are times within the conversation where it's laughy, it's jokey, it's kikiing, especially when you got specific in certain comments that reflected on CP time. And let me also say this, is that generally CP time is something that's laughed amongst people of melanation, but it's not taken as a joke when you're doing it with a person who is a self-proclaimed racist. Now that I've had the opportunity to digest all of the information, now that I'm not on live stream with thousands of people looking at me, and in the back of my mind thinking towards the tens of thousands that are waiting for the perfect reaction from me, I begin to question why you didn't sympathize with the plight of African Americans or black people in general. And not once in the interview did you have at least one pro-black stance or some form of ethical defense or cultural sensitivity for the people who carry your production machine forward, or the people that you know that watch your channel. That's questionable at the very least, and it shows to me a degree of misguided that you are regarding our culture, and that you have some introspection to do, and you have to find a newfound respect for understanding more about the people that work for you, or who a component of the content is made for. The embellishment of slavery is where you display the true level of your insensitivity and lack of understanding about the culture that you have immersed yourself in, whether you like it or not. Pearl, at the end of the day, you f***ed up. I completely, as I said on that stream, denounce your statements. And I believe that you need to be held completely accountable for your words and your actions. And I want you to do it for the sake of my history, for the sake of my community, for the sake of my audience, and the people who have followed me and will continue to follow me, Pearl. The people that found you through my channel because of these actions. And Pearl, we had a one-on-one conversation.
Damn, Shorty got famous off of other people's channels, yo, and now you done messed up, bro. Sick.
I recorded this video, and I told you I can no longer work with you. We had a dating show that was in the pipeline, and I was super excited about releasing this content on your platform and then cutting it up and putting it up on my platform and reacting to it. We did great content up there. But along with these statements that have come up, I no longer feel comfortable in having that dating show footage released along with the other content that was recorded up there onto your platform. I plan in the future not to release more content up onto the channel regarding my time in London. And to be honest, frankly, it really sucks because I had a lot that I wanted to be able to speak about. And again, to my community, to my audience, to the people who have followed me and will continue to follow me into the future, I have to take personal accountability for my working relationship with Pearl. And trust me when I say I take full ownership and full accountability. I had absolutely no idea of the comments that were made in the Nick Fuentes interview. And had I known this prior to, I would not have gone to London. I did not know.
Yeah, like I said, shout out to the boy MTR. I don't know, man. I didn't even know about this myself because I was gone. But for people who are looking for context, I'm probably gonna go to her page and see if it's still up there to see what was said. But yo, that's wild. That's extremely wild. I mean, I may not even make more reactions to those videos as well either. But comment, like, subscribe down below. It's a good Black Finesse. We are, man.